Since its announcement back in March of 2023, ARK Survival Ascended has been through the ringer with the community, with information constantly flip-flopping back and forth between how much the game was going to be, what was going to be included with that price tag, as well as a server exclusivity agreement. Don't even get me started on that. I'll talk about that in a minute. An idea that sounded great on paper just has been hated the entire way through. And with its recent release, I just wanted to sit down and talk about why is everyone so mad at this game? You know, what's going on? So back when the game was first announced, we were told, I believe, that it was supposed to be releasing sometime in Q4 of 2023. As time went on, we got some more teasers, a little bit of information like that, you know, concept arts for new creatures being added into the game for each map, and then we were eventually told that the game would be coming out by the end of October. That's all we were given. We weren't given an exact date, just by the end of October. That's all we were told. So fans, myself included, patiently waited till October. Now the ARK community has a similar problem to that of the GTA 6 community, where they like to, you know, come up with these conspiracies and think that something's gonna happen on a specific day, and then get incredibly upset whenever that thing that was never confirmed to have happened doesn't happen. However, throughout the entirety of this time, we were told that the game was going to release on all platforms, be cross-platform, have cross-modding across all platforms, PS5, whatever the new Xbox is, man, I'm not keeping up with that, and PC. And according to several messages that the developers had said in their Discord, they said everything was on track to be released by the end of October. And up until a few days before the Xbox partner preview, we had no information on when this game was coming out. Again, all we had to go off of was the end of October, and all we knew was that it was supposed to be coming out on every platform that the game was coming out on. So the Xbox partner preview happened on October 25th, and they announced a few games, you know, a couple that I'm excited for, but the main thing I was honestly looking forward to was ARK Survival Ascended news. We figured we were going to be getting a gameplay trailer, because up until this point we hadn't seen anything about the game yet, just a couple of in-game screenshots, and hopefully a release date, because at this point we had less than a week until the game was supposed to be coming out, and we still had no idea when the game was coming out. During the Xbox partner preview, we actually got the gameplay trailer. Fans are all getting excited because, you know, the game looks great. Honestly, was blowing past my expectations of what I thought this game was going to look like. And at the end of the trailer, we're all just sitting there waiting for that release date to come out, maybe say potentially, you know, available now on all platforms, you know, something like that. Give us a surprise release. No, instead we saw coming soon. So initially, fans, myself included, were kind of annoyed by this. You know, we have less than a week and we still don't have a date. That's kind of insane to me. However, I was patient. I waited. I wanted to see if, you know, the official ARK YouTube channel, if they posted the trailer, if they were going to have a date. Waited for the ARK official Discord to say if they were going to have a date. And luckily, we did get some extra information. We were told that the game was then available only on PC. Console was actually getting delayed until November. So what was once promised to be released on all platforms at the same time became a surprise release and then also a surprise delay. And you know, I play on PC, so I didn't really get too upset at the fact that it was getting delayed because it wasn't necessarily getting delayed for me. However, the fact that it was a surprise delay for console as well as a surprise release for PC is just so scummy in my opinion. However, this is ARK that we're talking about, and from my experience playing this game, nothing has ever released on time. So I'm not too surprised, but then again, I feel like this could have gone a better way. And so, you know, myself as a PC player, seeing that I was able to then go ahead and play the game that day, I got excited. You know, I was like, all right, bet, let's go ahead, download the game, let's get started. However, the game hadn't actually fully released yet, so no one was able to buy the game. Understandable, you know, maybe give it a couple hours. It's probably on like a schedule or something. You know, maybe give it like an hour or two. It'll come out. Since the game had been announced that it was going to be available to play that day, it took 12 hours to be able to download the game. At that point, it was the next day already. However, according to some developers that are in ARK's official Discord, they said this wasn't actually something that was necessarily their fault. It seemed like they were just kind of having some technical issues with getting the game onto Steam, which, you know, I understand things happen. Developers are people too. Everyone has tech issues, so, you know, it ain't that big of a deal. I mean, like, it still sucks, but at the same time, also kind of cut them some slack. Now, when the game finally came out, everyone was excited to play. I mean, I say everyone, but PC players, I'm sorry, console players. And I decided, you know, just for fun, I wanted to go ahead and check the Steam reviews. If you don't know, Steam reviews on the release of a new game are always so stupid. And especially here recently, I've been seeing a lot more Steam reviews of people saying they have the highest end PCs that you can make, yet the game runs like complete doo-doo. Now, I ain't denying there's plenty of people out there who have the best PC that you can possibly get right now. But when every Steam review that I'm looking at says that, alright bro, like come on. I know for damn sure you ain't got the best PC in the world. And I know for a fact as well, you ain't customizing customize any of the in-game settings either. So checking these Steam reviews, that's immediately what I saw. Currently the game is sitting at mixed reviews, which usually means like half positive, half negative, somewhere around there. And majority of the negative ones that I was seeing were people complaining about the game not being optimized for their highest end PCs. So if you're seeing a lot of complaints about how ARK Survival Ascended is super unoptimized and you should not buy it because of that, especially right now since the game has just came out, I would take that with a grain of salt and don't believe it 100%. Because one, the game can get optimized over time, and two, people just blow the optimization out of proportion. They'll go out of their way to make the game run as terrible as possible just so that way they can complain about it and say they have the best PC to run it possible. Now I know a lot of people play on official ARK servers. Some of them are for PvP, some of them are for PvE. I personally don't really play on official servers. I prefer to have my own private server and play with my friends. That way I can kind of customize a lot of the rules, the multipliers, you know, make harvesting rates a lot faster, things like that. Because I'm sorry, I'm not waiting weeks at a time to raise a creature. I'm not doing that. And a lot of the people that were trying to play on the official ARK servers were having issues with servers shutting down, people cheating in the servers right away, which the servers going up and down I kind of honestly expected, you know. A lot of people are trying to get onto the game all at once, so it doesn't really surprise me that servers were having a stability issue right away. But people cheating, like, come on, man. How are we still releasing games in 2023 that have people cheating in them right away? Luckily, however, Wildcard was pretty on top of this, and I believe they fixed this already. I believe they fixed this within a day, so props to them for actually getting on top of that, but that shouldn't even be a thing to begin with, man. And you know how I said I usually play on my own private servers? I don't really play on official servers, right? So in the previous game, ARK Survival Evolved, this is the old game. I know the ARK Survival Ascended is the new game. ARK Survival Evolved is the old game. It's a little confusing, but bear with me. In the old game, you were able to host your own servers off of your own PC. That way you wouldn't have to, you know, go through like a third-party website and pay for a server every single month. You could just do it yourself from your PC. Now, I personally am a little too stupid for that. I don't really know how to do all that, so I can't really speak too much on the side of creating and hosting your own server. However, at the time of recording this, which as of right now, it is currently October 26th, you're not able to do that. You can't host servers off of your own computer. However, we did get some news that this was supposed to be getting added in to where you could actually host servers off of your own PC, but we don't even have an estimated date as to when that's gonna happen. And the fact that that is not a thing on release is absurd. Again, I'm a little too stupid to know how to do that, but for the people who do know how to do that, they're now forced, if they want to have a private server, they're now forced to pay for their server or wait until unknown date. Remember how I mentioned earlier how they had the exclusivity agreement? Yeah, that exclusivity agreement is with a third-party server hosting website called Nitrado. In my experience using Nitrado, I used it a little bit on ARK Survival Evolved before I had switched to a different server host, and in my experience using them, they were just not that great. You know, randomly my server would just not show up and I couldn't join it. There were several hours, if not days, delayed on updates, so I couldn't even play the game. I can't even count how many days I tried to get onto the game to play, but then was met with stupid problems with the server to where I couldn't play. And I was paying money for this. I was paying money every single month in order to have this up. You know, I understand servers go down for maintenance and things like that. Servers go down in order to update and whatnot, but this happened way too often. So this server host is now the only server host, if you want to have a private server, the only server host that you can currently use for the next at least 3 years. And you want to know how much these servers are? For 1 month, for 30 days. The bare minimum price that you can pay for one of these servers, it's $32 a month. $32! The game itself was $40 for me. I got it for $5 off because I bought it whenever it had a sale going on. So the fact that I had to spend $40 on the game and then an additional $32 a month just to play with my friends, that's over half the price that I paid for the game. So not only are you getting a subpar server host that will most likely go down a lot of the time, you're spending over half of the price that you paid for the game every month for it. I've never seen a game have so much potential as much as ARK does, but then it just constantly gets screwed over by stupid things like this. I just find that kind of crazy, hard to believe, you know, like I really enjoy this game. I want to be able to have as much fun as I possibly can on this game. I have a lot of memories on the old game, and I want to create a lot of good memories on the new game, but currently I'm just getting a bunch of bad memories. I don't think a lot of these problems is Wildcard, the developer's fault. I think it's more so the company that owns Wildcard, which I believe they're their publisher. publisher, if I'm not mistaken, called Snail Games. Snail Games is very well known for just being one of the greediest companies. Think of Activision, you know, the publisher that owns all of the Call of Duty titles. Think of Activision, but worse. That's Snail Games for you. But yeah, that's all I had to say. Hopefully this game can kind of get its stuff together. Hopefully hosting a server isn't going to cost $32 for the next 3 years. Either that or someone can teach me, or I can find out how to host my own servers for free, because this is currently just absurd, man.